Didn't slam the door, didn't shatter like glass, didn't leave a note behind, or shadows from the past. You still kiss my forehead, still call me baby at night, but something in your voice didn't sound right. We still share the same bed, still turned out the light, but love was already leaving without a fight. I felt it in the spaces, in the way you looked through me, like your heart was packing up while you were next to me. Love left quietly, without a single sound. No warning sirens screaming when it hit the ground. We didn't fall in flames or break dramatically, it just slipped out the back door. Love left quietly. We stopped saying forever, started saying we'll see. Stop dreaming about tomorrow, stop saying we. Your hand still held mine, but it felt routine, like loving me was memory, not something you mean. I kept feeding the embers of a fire gone weak, calling it just tired while it stopped burning for me. There's a kind of heartbreak that doesn't shout or cry, it just turns down the volume until it says goodbye. Love left quietly while I was holding on, while I was still believing nothing was wrong. I would have fought a war for what we used to be, but love doesn't ask permission. It leaves quietly. I almost wish you'd screamed or given me a reason to hate, because quiet endings linger and echo in their wake. No villain, no big moment, just a subtle shift in you and the slow realization that we were through. Love left quietly, but the ache stayed loud. It didn't crash around us, it slipped through a cloud. We didn't lose each other in anger or fury, we We just woke up one morning and love left quietly. It didn't knock things over, it didn't make a scene. It just folded up its feelings and left in between. I still remember how you smiled before it all went wrong. How your hands fit into mine like that's where they belonged. We used to talk about forever like it was close and short. Now I'm learning how to breathe through something I can't cure. Your voice still echoes softly in corners of my mind. I keep searching for the moment where we left love behind. They say that time will heal it, that scars will fade in truth, but healing feels like drowning when I'm missing you. I'm living through the hurt, through every lonely night, through the tears that fall when I turn off the light. I'm walking through the memories of who we used to be, trying to find the strength you took from me. You moved on like it didn't burn, like we were just a blur, but I'm still standing here through the I try to be the strong one, try to keep my pride, but strength feels so fragile when your heart's cracked inside. You said it's for the better, that someday I'll see, but better feels so empty when you're not with me. I replay every goodbye, every word unsaid, trying to silence the chaos in my head. I would have stayed forever if you had asked me to, but forever didn't mean the same to the depth of my heart. I just didn't know it would tear me apart. Maybe pain is proof that love was real. Maybe through the hurt I'll learn to heal. Soft breaking silence, but I won't fall. I may be breaking, but I won't lose it all. I'm living through the hurt, but I'm still alive. Still finding the courage to survive. You may have left me shattered in the dark, but I'll rise again with a stronger heart. One day I'll look back and know my worth, and I'll be proud. I made it through the hurt. It still aches, it still burns, but I'm still here, living through the hurt. We didn't break in a moment, no thunder, no flame, just quiet conversations that didn't feel the same. You still reached for my hand, but not the way you did. Your eyes stopped saying always, they started saying if. I kept painting over cracks with hope I couldn't save. Told myself we're just tired, not slowly drifting away. I felt the warmth grow weaker, but I was still afraid to admit I was loving you. Our love slowly faded. I stayed until love faded, until it lost its light, until forever felt too heavy to carry every night. I stayed through every silence, through every promise breaking. I kept calling it just a phase, while my heart was aching. I stayed until love faded. We stopped planning tomorrows, stopped saying we'll be fine, started living separate lives on borrowed time. Your laughter felt rehearsed, your kisses felt delayed. I kept holding on to summer while you were walking away. I would have fought 1,000 storms if there was something left to save. But you can't revive a fight that's already turned to gray. There's a difference between patience and refusing to see that sometimes staying longer only empties me. I stayed until love faded. wasn't sudden, it wasn't hated. He was loving you completely until love faded. We didn't break in a moment. Didn't slam the door, didn't shatter like glass, didn't leave a note behind or shadows from the past. You still kiss my forehead, still call me baby at night, but something in your voice didn't sound right. We still shared the same bed, still turned out the light, but love was already leaving without a fight. I felt it in the spaces, in the way you look through me, like your heart was packing up while you were next to me. We stopped saying forever, started saying we'll see. Stopped dreaming about tomorrow, stopped saying we. Your hand still held mine, but it felt routine, like loving me was memory, not something you mean. I kept feeding the embers of a fire gone weak, calling it just tired while it stopped burning for me. There's a kind of heartbreak that doesn't shout or cry. It just turns down the volume until it says goodbye. It leaves quietly. I almost wish you'd screamed or given me a reason to hate, because quiet endings linger and echo in their wake. No just woke up one morning and love left quietly. It didn't knock things over. It didn't make a scene. It just folded up its feelings and left in between. You were a storm I didn't see, rolling in without a sound. Carried pain behind your smile, tried so hard to drown it out. I learned the language of your silence, the tremble in your hands. Held your heart like fragile glass when no one else could understand. You said I was your safe place, your shelter from the fall. And I believed forever, and I'd be there through it all. I stood beside your breaking when the world turned cold and small. I never thought you'd be the one to let me fall. I loved you through it all, through the nights you couldn't sleep, through every whispered doubt you were too afraid to speak. I gave you every piece of me, every time you'd call. But when I needed you the most, you weren't there at all. Still I loved you through it all. I stayed when doors were slamming, when your anger filled the room. Told myself it wasn't me, just battles you were going through. I painted hope on broken walls, called chaos just a phase. Turned my tears into patience and my heartbreak into praise. You grew stronger in my arms, found your way to stand up tall. But somewhere in your healing, you stopped needing me at all. I was the one who stayed when everyone else was gone. But loving you forever every crack and scar, through every time you swore you didn't know who you are. I would have stayed forever if forever didn't fall, but loving you cost everything, and I lost myself in it all. Still I loved you through it all. Your constant, you're steady when you'd fall. I loved you without limits, I loved you through it all. Coffee's cold on your side of the bed. I still wake up reaching where you used to rest. Your shadow lingers in the morning light, like you never really said goodbye. I told my friends that I'm doing fine, that healing just takes a little time. But every night when the world stands still, it's just me loving you still. You said some loves are meant to fade, but mine refuses to. I try to let you slip away, but my heart won't loosen you. It's me loving you still, through every quiet ache, through every promise we let break. It's me calling your name when there's no one left to blame. I know you've moved on, I know I should too, but my heart don't know how to. It's me loving you still, when I wish I didn't feel. I packed away the photographs, but I remember every laugh, the way your fingers fit in mine like they were made for all my life. You said we needed different roads, different dreams, different homes, but no matter where I try to go, your memory follows close. I thought that time would steal the pain, like it stole you from my arms, but time just makes the silence loud and leaves me in the dark. It's me loving you still, through every lonely night, through every tear I try to hide. It's me holding the past like it's all I have. I know you've let go, I know we're through, but I don't know how to unlove you. It's me loving you still, when I wish my heart would heal. Maybe I loved you deeper than I ever let you see. Maybe I gave you forever, but you only gave me. Maybe I'd tear these feelings out if I knew how to. But love doesn't disappear just because you wanted to. It's me loving you still, through every shattered plan, through letting go of your hand. It's me whispering your name through the hurt and through the blame. I know you found someone new, but my heart stays true. And no matter how it kills, it's me loving you still. You walked away and I stood still, and somehow I'm loving you still. You said you needed space to breathe, said your heart felt torn, but you still let me stay right there, like nothing had been worn. I saw the doubt behind your eyes, but I called it just a phase. I kept tracing forever over love that couldn't stay. I felt you slipping through my hands like water I couldn't save, but I kept building castles on every promise you gave. You didn't say it was over, you didn't say it was wrong. You just stood there quietly and let me hold on too long. You let me hold on too long to something already gone. Let me call it almost fine when it wasn't strong. You watched me fight for both our hearts while yours moved on. You didn't stop me loving you, you let me hold on too long. Kept defending us when my friends could see the way you stopped choosing what we used to be. You'd kiss me like a habit, hold me out of guilt, and I kept patching cracks in a house we never built. I would have faced the truth if you had just been clear, but silence feels like hope when you want someone near. I thought if you were still here, it meant there was a chance. I didn't know you'd already left while I was still holding your hand. You let me hold on too long to every maybe and night, to every fading ember that once burned bright. I stayed and gave you all of me when I should have moved on. You didn't break my heart at once, you let me hold on too long. I wish you would have told me before I lost myself, before I turned your half-love into something else. Because loving without warning feels like love. loving wrong, and it hurts the most when you hold on too long. You let me hold on too long to a love that wasn't mine. I kept reading forever between your broken lines. Now I'm learning how to let you go, even though it's wrong. I should have walked away sooner instead of holding on too long. You didn't pull me closer, you didn't push me away. You just stood there in the silence and let me stay. Everybody warned, said I should let you go, said love shouldn't feel like begging someone to show. But I kept defending you like I had something to prove, turning every red flag into something I could soothe. You said you weren't ready, said you needed space, but I kept chasing after the look on your face. I knew the truth was whispering, but I chose defense. I kept holding on to you past all common sense. I was loving you past sense, past reason, past pride, past every sleepless night I cried. I was loving you past sense when I should have let you go, holding on to something that didn't wanna grow. I crossed every boundary, I broke my own defense, just loving you past sense. I called your distance pressure, your silence just a phase. I told myself forever just needed better days. You stopped making promises, I kept making plans. I built a whole tomorrow on your half-open hands. I shrank myself to fit you, ignored what I deserved, loving someone deeply who barely returned. There's a fine line between hope and self-neglect, and I crossed it every time you showed disrespect. I was loving you past sense, past logic and truth, past the part of me that knew. I was loving you past sense when it hurt too much to stay, still fighting for a future you were giving away. I lost pieces of myself trying to convince my heart to stop loving you past sense. just loves you. Past tense. Past tense. I remember how it started, with your hand wrapped up in mine. You said, I swear I've never felt this, and I believed you every time. We were fire in the midnight, burning brighter than the truth. I thought love was supposed to hurt a little, but not the way it did with you. Every red flag looked like roses, every warning felt like fate. I kept calling it forever, while you kept calling it just wait. It was the wrong love at the right time, or the right love at the wrong. Either way it left me shattered, trying to figure where we went wrong. I gave you all my best parts, you gave me half of your heart. We held on like we were soulmates, but we were falling apart. It felt so right when you held me tight, but loving you was wrong love. I defended you to my friends, said they didn't understand. They didn't see the way you kissed me, or the way you said my name, but they didn't hear the silence when you'd pull away from me, or the way I cried in bathrooms, begging you to just see me. I kept shrinking just to fit you, kept forgiving what broke me. You kept loving me in pieces, never fully choosing me. It was the wrong love at the right time, or the right love at the wrong. Either way it left me bleeding, trying to be strong. I gave you all my best parts, you gave me what was left. I kept fighting for a future, you were already halfway gone. I guess it felt so real, it felt so true, but loving you was wrong love. Maybe we were just too broken, trying to fix each other's pain. Maybe I mistook the chaos for a love that would remain. If I could go back to the beginning, before my heart knew your touch, I'd still fall for you all over. That's the part that hurts too much. It was the wrong love at the right time, and I paid the highest cost. I found myself inside you, and somewhere there I got lost. I gave you every heartbeat, every tear I couldn't hide. You said you loved me forever, but forever was a lie. It felt like home inside your arms, but home shouldn't leave scars. It felt so right, but deep inside I knew we wouldn't last. 'Cause sometimes love can feel so strong and still be the wrong love. I still say your name in silence, like a prayer I can't unsay. You were my almost, my forever, that just couldn't stay. My beautiful wrong love. We started out so even, two hearts on steady ground. No one chasing harder, no one pulling down. Your hand fit into mine, like it was always meant. We gave without a question, without keeping count of it. Felt like something evil, like we both chose to trust. Back when love was simple, back when it was us. But somewhere in the giving, the scale began to move. I was pouring out my whole heart while you had less to lose. Love didn't stay balanced enough. Carried more than you. I kept fighting for our future while you weren't sure it was true. I gave you all my patience, you gave me almost love. We could have been forever if love stayed balanced enough. Distance in the way you turn away. I kept filling in the silence with words you wouldn't say. You said I asked for too much, but all I asked was you to love me with the same weight I was loving you. I kept adjusting my heart to make it easier to stay. Love shouldn't feel like I'm bending every day. I don't regret the death of me or how hard I tried. I just wish you would have met me somewhere by my side. Your side of the bed is colder, but I don't move the sheets. Your picture's still on my dresser, like you might come back to me. I tell my friends I'm healing, that I'm finally letting go. But every time my phone lights up, I still hope it's you I'll know. I know the truth is simple, you've already moved on, but my heart won't get the message that you're really gone. It's me still hoping you'll knock on my door, say you made a mistake like you never before. It's me still wishing on stars that don't shine, still leaving the light on, just in case you change your mind. For a sign that somewhere in your silence you were hurting like I'm mine. I memorize the memories like they're keeping you alive, holding on to pieces while you're living your new life. I know I should be stronger, I know I should be brave, but love doesn't disappear just because you walk away. It's me still hoping you'll call in the night, say you miss the way I held you tight. It's me still dreaming what we used to be, even though you're not here, it's still you and me. Love shouldn't linger after it's done, shouldn't make you wait for someone who won't come, but I can't turn it off like a switch on the wall. My heart's still standing where we used to fall. Soft, maybe one day soon the hope will fade away. Maybe I'll wake up and not feel you in every day. It's me still hoping, but I'm learning to let go, learning that sometimes love won't grow. I deserve a heart that stays, not leaves. It's me still hoping, but I'm starting to believe. Maybe you won't Memorize your laughter like it was my favorite song. Held on to every promise, even when it felt wrong. I showed up when you needed me, even when you didn't ask. I carried all your heavy days like it was my only task. You said you loved me too, but it didn't feel the same. I was burning bright for us, you were guarding your flame. I kept telling myself we were just misunderstood, but loving someone deeper doesn't mean they could. I loved you more than you did, more than you ever tried. I gave you all my open heart while you stayed half inside. I fought for every moment you let quietly slip. I was building forever, you were losing your grip. I loved you more than you did. I stayed through every silence, through every doubt you had. Turned you around, not sure, into it's not that bad. You kept one foot at the door like you might run away. I kept both hands on your heart, begging you to stay. You called it complicated, I called it worth the pain. But love can't grow stronger if it's not the same. There's a difference between loving and simply being there. I was giving you my world, you were barely aware. I loved you more than you did, more than I should have known. I gave you all my tomorrows, you left me alone. I believed in every always you whispered in the dark, but you never loved me with your whole heart. I don't regret my loyalty or how hard I tried, but loving someone halfway leaves you hollow inside. I deserve a love that meets me where I stand, not one that slips away from my hand. I loved you more than you did, but now I understand. Love isn't meant to feel like sinking in quicksand. I gave you everything, every prayer I hid. You may forget how much I gave, but I loved you more than you did. I wasn't too much, I wasn't wrong. I just loved you deeper for too long. I remember night you couldn't sleep, head heavy on my chest. Your world was falling piece by piece, and I gave you all I had left. I held the weight you wouldn't show, wiped out from off your face. Told you storms don't last forever, love would keep us safe. When you were lost in your own mind, I stayed and held you near. I never once thought leaving, even through the fear. I was your steady heartbeat, your shelter from the dark. You said I was your safe place, you said I was your heart. I stayed through the tears, through every broken prayer. When you were drowning in your fears, I was right there. I held you together when you were falling apart. But when it was my turn to shatter, you let go of my heart. I gave you all my years, I stayed through the tears. I learned the shape of your silence, the tremble in your breath. Knew the ghost that chased you, and the words you never said. I loved you through your worst days, through every slammed door. But somewhere in the healing, you didn't need me anymore. You grew strong in my arms, and strong enough to leave. And I was left with promises you no longer believe. I thought that love meant staying when everything got hard, but I was fighting for forever while you were guarding your heart. I stayed through the tears, through every lonely night, through all your doubts and disappearing, through every silent fight. I gave you my forever, you gave me just a part. And when I needed saving, you walked away in the dark. I gave you all my years, I stayed through the tears. Was I just your shelter until the storm was gone? Did you only need my love until you felt strong? I would have stayed forever, through every ache and fear. But forever wasn't in you, like it was in me, my dear. I stayed through the tears, through every crack and scar. I carried both our broken hearts and loved you as you were. Now I'm learning how to stand with my own shattered parts. You healed inside my arms while you were breaking my heart. I gave you all my years, was heavy. I stayed when it was hard, but you didn't stay for my broken heart. Kept my voice down low, didn't wanna start a fight. Swallowed every hurtful word you said in the night. Told myself you didn't mean it, you were tired, that's all. Love can sound like anger when it hits the wall. Folded up my feelings, put them on a shelf. Kept choosing your heart over choosing myself. I said I'm fine so many times, I almost believed it too. But silence has a breaking point when it's loving someone like you. I held it in, I held it down until I cried out, until my whispered pain turned into a shout. I carried all the weight of what we were about. I kept trying to save us until I cried out. Excuses for the distance, for the cold inside your kiss. Blame the world around us for everything we'd miss. I kept your secrets safe, even when they hurt. Called you leaving confusion while I felt the worst. Every tear I wiped away came back twice as loud. You can only bend so far before you hit the ground. I was breaking softly while you were tuning out. I kept loving quietly until I cried out. I held it in, I held it down until I cried out, until the ache inside my chest spilled over doubt. I carried both our hearts through every twist and route. I kept believing in forever until I cried out. There's a moment when the heart can't take one more bruise, when staying feels like losing and loving feels like a noose. I didn't stop because I stopped loving, I stopped because I knew if I stayed 1 second longer, there'd be nothing left of me to lose. I held it in, I held it down until I cried out, until my breaking silence finally broke us down. I gave you every chance to turn this thing around, but love can't live in whispers when it needs to be loud. I stayed and stayed and stayed because I didn't care. I left because I couldn't breathe. I loved you through the quiet until I cried out. Hanging low, like it knew what we'd become. Two shadows in the dark, where there once was only one. You were lying next to me, but something felt off key. Your hand was in my hand, but not holding me. We didn't scream, we didn't cry, we didn't say the truth. We just stared at the ceiling like strangers do. I felt the current pulling, even as we kissed, like love was slipping quietly into the mist. That was the night we drifted, out of reach, out of sync, still close enough to touch, but too far to think. We didn't break in fire or crash in thunder tears. We just let the distance grow between our fears. That was the night we drifted. Said we'll be okay, but it sounded unsure, like a line you memorized, not something pure. Your eyes wouldn't meet mine when I searched for a sign, and I felt forever fading in real time. The silence wrapped around us, heavier than words, like love was losing volume without being heard. There's a certain kind of ending that happens slow and quiet, when two hearts stop fighting and neither tries to deny it. That was the night we drifted, from lovers into space, from knowing every heartbeat to losing trace. We let go of something sacred without a single scream. We watched it float away like a half-finished dream. That was the night we drifted. sometime. The time can't fix the future when only one heart tries. I feel in the silence, in the tears I hide. It's hard to build forever when I'm the only one inside. There's a difference between time and walking away. You stop believing I'm the one who stays. Only one heart turns and aches in quiet rooms. It turns sweet promises into scars. I just need to feel like you're still ours, because love shouldn't feel like I'm begging you to care enough to choose me. It's only me loving you. I wasn't wrong for fighting. I wasn't wrong for hope. But love needs two hands, or it slips through both. rather stay. You said I meant the world to you, but not in that forever way. You traced my skin with tenderness, whispered what I wanted most. But every promise from your lips felt like a fading ghost. You looked at me like someday, like maybe we could be, but maybe never built a home for someone like me. I kept mistaking almost for something close to true. I didn't see the distance in your I love you. It was your almost love that broke me in the end. Close enough to hold, but not enough to mend. You gave me just a taste of what we could have been. I fell for all your almost again and again. You said you weren't ready, but you didn't let me go. You kept me in the in-between of yes and no. I built my heart around you while you kept one foot free. You were never fully mine, but you were enough to hurt me. You kissed me like forever, but lived like passing through. I give you all my certainty, you gave me half of you. There's a kind of heartbreak that doesn't crash or shout. It's soft and slow and steady. It's almost love. It was your almost love that kept me holding on, close enough to feel, but already gone. You never said goodbye. You never said enough. You just left me standing in your almost love. I don't blame you for your fear or the walls you built inside, but I can't live forever on feelings you divide. I deserve a love that's certain, not a fragile, fragile touch. I can't keep breaking for almost love. It was your almost love that tore my heart into almost forever. Almost true. I gave you all my everything. You gave me just enough to lose myself completely. we were still young. Your jacket on my chair, your picture by my bed. I was living in the past, in the words we never said. I told myself you'd call, that this was just a phase, that love like ours could never simply fade away. But hope can be a heavy thing when it won't let you move. And loving someone halfway gone is slowly losing you. I held on to you through every sleepless night, through every maybe someday. I tried to make it right. I kept the door wide open long after you were gone. My heart kept saying wait, until I let you go. I defended you in silence when my friends could see the way you stopped choosing what we used to be. I reread old messages like they could bring you back, turned every little memory into what I lacked. I thought if I just loved you more, you'd feel it in your soul. But love can make somebody stay if they've already let go. There's a moment when the truth is louder than the ache, when staying hurts much deeper than the break. I held on to you through every fading sun, through every empty promise you left behind. I carried all the pieces of a love that couldn't grow. I didn't start to breathe again until I let you go. Letting go felt like drowning, like giving up on fate, like closing every chapter we were meant to write. But sometimes love is knowing when to stop the fight, when holding on too tightly steals your light. I held on to you until my hands were tired, until I saw the truth through all the fire. Now I'm learning how to stand on my own 2 feet. I didn't lose myself forever, I just had to let you go, to finally find me. I loved you longer saw the warning signs in the way you look away. Heard it in your silence when you didn't know what to say. You stopped reaching for my hand, stopped calling just because. But I kept holding on to what was left of us. I told myself you're tired, that love just bends sometimes. I kept rewriting endings between the lines. I felt you halfway gone, but I chose to stay stronger. You started letting go, I just stayed longer. I stayed longer than I should have known. Held on to forever when I felt alone. I kept choosing you when you'd already moved on. You didn't leave all at once, I just stayed longer. I defended you in conversations when my friends could see the way you stopped fighting, you and me. You kissed me like a memory, not something real. And I kept calling distance something we could heal. I would have crossed oceans if you'd met me halfway, but I was the only one begging you to stay. There's a difference between loving and losing yourself. I gave you everything and more than I had left. I stayed longer through every quiet night, through every almost ending, through every fading light. I kept believing we were still strong, but love can't survive if one heart's gone. I don't regret my loyalty or the depth of how I care, but loving someone who won't fight back leaves your heart bare. I wasn't weak for staying, I just love stronger. But I can't keep breaking by staying longer. I stay longer than my heart could take, held on to promises that started to break. You were already leaving, I was holding on. I didn't lose you suddenly, I just stayed longer. It wasn't that I didn't see it, it wasn't that I was blind. I just believed in us. You say love shouldn't be this hard, and maybe we need space. But I'm still standing in the fire while you step away. I see it in your posture, in the way you don't reach. Like loving me is something you're slowly outgrowing. I can't win a war if I'm the only one holding up the door when you've already run. I'm the only one fighting for something we both made, the only one trying while you slowly fade. I'm screaming in silence, you're calm and unbothered. Love can't survive when I'm the only one fighting. I defend us in front of strangers, like they don't see the truth, that you stopped choosing the girl who chose you. You kiss me like you're sorry, not like you're in love. And I keep searching heaven for signs from above. You say you're just confused, that you don't know what you need. But confusion feels a lot like you giving up on me. There's a difference between tired and walking away. I'm still holding the line while you won't stay. I'm the only one fighting through every sleepless night, through every quiet distance, through every fading light. I'm trying to stay forever while you're done deciding. I can't keep building us if I'm the only one fighting. I don't need perfection or a love without scars. I just need to know you still think we're ours. Because loving someone alone feels like losing slow, and I can't keep bleeding just to make us grow. I was the only one fighting, and now I finally see love shouldn't feel like it's only me. I'd fight for you forever, but forever needs two. And I can't keep breaking just to hold on to you. I wasn't wrong for caring, I wasn't wrong for trying, but love shouldn't feel